Tevez sta solo, Tevez all'interno dell'area, fa fuori tutti, Tevez, si apre la porta, Tevez, gol, da dietro, Pirlo dentro,
All right, Juventini, welcome back to the All Juve Cast channel, and today I'm happy to have friend of the All Juve Cast channel and a great guy, Mirko Di Natale. Mirko, come stai?
It's a good pleasure, Alberto. It's a good pleasure. Thanks for your invite with my new hairstyle for my 30 years. And thank you, Alberto. And a good afternoon. Now is the 6 a.m. Right?
You're 6 a.m. here, my friend.
6 a.m. You are crazy. You are very, very crazy, in my opinion. Un saluto a tutti. Ciao.
We have to do it at 6 a.m. I got the two little girls. They're sleeping now. All is good. All is good.
Very.
So yes, happy belated birthday. You turned 30. All right. I hope the celebrations were fantastic. Okay.
Yes, with last week with my colleague Nico Schira. I spent a night in disco, and I'm very, very happy for the birthday.
Fantastic.
Was a good birthday. Yes.
That's good. That's the way to bring in 30. You're reaching your prime, Mirko, okay? You're reaching your prime. All these guys that are scared about the 31, 32-year-old players, you guys are reaching your prime. So
I am âgé. I am âgé, as tell the Frenchman, no? Âgé.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to start talking about you and your friend Nico Schira, okay? Because we want to know about this Mercato, if certain things are being left behind by Juventus, okay? Just because, you guys, you and Nico Schira seem to be steady, nice and level, and then some of the other journalists maybe a little up and down, a little yes, no. Is there a lot of confusion coming from you? Is that because of how Juventus is operating, or just the deals themselves are difficult? Like Di Maria, for instance.
It's more simple run away in another way. No, it's always simple. No, it's seriously, it's very difficult to know the information about Juventus, and it's very difficult. I write also for Juventus Women, the Mercatos of Juventus Women. I don't know if you have read some questions about Juventus. In my opinion, is to talk is simple for Juventus Women, respect for Juventus, because this year is very crazy. No, our friend Giuseppe Bognanni, his songs named Mercato is crazy, la 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 la. No, from here, Julie, in last day of out is this is the Munch, no, the l'urlo di Munch. No, Pogba, Di Maria is only 2 transfers of this year of Juventus. I think that Juventus will operate in this month for the increase the team, the club, because Juventus want to first goal, to first objective, want to dominate in Italy because Juventus, in my opinion, don't accontentare, come si dice, non si può accontentare, non può common, okay, the 2 4th place continually, no? Juventus okay, Juventus is the won't come back the champion of Italy.
They won't settle basically for 4th any longer. They want to make that big.
Exactly. My English is always
bravo. Sì, bravo.
No, it's always terrible.
So già c'è questione Bremer Bremer a possibility. We will get to Bremer. We're going to ask Mirko, because Mirko's not just a journalist. Mirko is a Juventino, just like all of us here. And I want to ask Mirko, there was an interview earlier this week that came out with Arriva Bene. And Arriva Bene, he was talking about the players that like their agents more than a maglietta. Okay, agents più a maglietta. Arriva Bene parlava di questi, and we remember earlier in the season quando Arriva Bene parlato di Dybala, forse puro delict, che i giocatori avevano di piacere a maglietta più di agents, right? I want to know how you feel about Arriva Bene in that interview that he gave.
Arriva Bene, in my opinion, is always sincerely. No, his word is always sincero, sincere. No,
Sincere,
dire,
yeah.
Sincere. Because he's worked in Formula 1 with Ferrari, and in Formula 1, in Formula 1 is another word respect of football, because in football the official words was always similar for the lie, okay? And in Formula 1 no, because Formula 1 the management as Arriva Bene, for example Binotto, no, in Ferrari is usually tell the truth of the supporters of press. Arriva Bene, in my opinion, is always okay, is always è sempre così, ok? Is exprime the truth every words that he tells with the press on the supporters. Is a good scusa, mi sono impappinato. È un grande dirigente, ok? Arriva bene, and in my opinion he can continues the work as began with the first scudetto. Okay, is Arriva Bene, Cherubini, this management, in my opinion, can continues that route began the new victories. Okay.
Yes. So Mirko, very much in line with a lot of us Juventini right now, having faith that these guys can do it and get that rebuild going properly. Okay, that's good. We're gonna get to some of the transfer stuff now, Mirko. So we've
Bremer?
got
first question is Bremer.
Well, no, we're not gonna start with Bremer. I want to know Cambiaso, if they're gonna finalize it. Is he going straight to loan immediately?
Ok, allora Juventus and Genoa have an agreement for Cambiaso, for Andrea Cambiaso, 4 million, and the Dragusin owed another play. Dragusin in this moment has not decided his future because he is in Dubai, beato lui, and is not convinced to transfer in Genoa, because in his opinion Dragusin wanted a place in Juventus, and his transfer will be in a titolo definitivo, in his definitivity. No,
Yeah.
Scusami. Okay, is not alone, but will be in definitive transfer. Okay. And in my opinion, is a difficult for Dragusin to convince to here to be in Genoa next year. The two clubs could be make an agreement in different ways, or included another players. Okay, another youngster of Juventus, or Juventus under 23, or Juventus under 19. Or Juventus could pay another money, I think around 7 or 8 millions for to buy the players.
Okay.
In this moment he's in standby, okay, because there is an agreement between Juventus and Genoa, but Dragusin
Dragusin's not big on it.
Dragusin doesn't convince it to transfer in Genoa.
Yeah. Is there any other fullbacks, even if this Cambiaso loan goes through? Are there any fullback possibilities for Juventus?
Ma Cambiaso is an hybrid, not like a machine car, ma he could play in different ways in bench. Left fullback, right fullback, mezzala in a midfield. Is in my opinion is a good player. Could be on loan or Bologna or Atalanta or Sassuolo, or could be remain in Juventus this year, but Juventus could be in next weeks to try to buy another winger. Windal, no, because Windal will be a new Ajax official transfer next days. Could be to try to speak again with Udinese for Udogi or for Molina, but Molina in right back depends a very lot of the future of Quadrado. Quadrado has renewed his contract for 1 year. Okay, but there isn't an agreement between Juventus and Quadrado, because the 1 year more as just right in his contract for the 40 presence in last season. Okay, Juventus and Lucci, the representative of Quadrado, his agent, don't speak about him these weeks. Juventus has spoken with Lucci about another players, Philip Kostic, but in this moment there isn't an agreement for Juventus and Eintracht for Kostic. Kostic have an agreement with Juventus for his salary, around 3 million for 3 years, more bonus. But not only that, not that, is in standby anche Kostic. And in my opinion, Cambiaso, to speak about Cambiaso in this moment, could be a good transfer, in my opinion.
Could be a good transfer, but it's still undetermined if he will remain or go out on loan. He's still up in the air, right? If they bring him in, so
depends. In my opinion, depends about first days of new retire. Ok, Juventus raduno, si dice retire, giusto? Raduno, ok. Begin next Sunday. Okay, and if the agreement for Cambiaso will be totally okay, Allegri could be value Cambiaso next days and could be decide if or he remain in Juventus or he will go in loan or Bologna, Atalanta, Sassuolo, or another team.
Okay. And then Kostic, you talked a little bit about Kostic. Do you think Juventus will finalize the Kostic deal?
Is not dead as but is difficult because Juventus don't have in this moment the agreement with Eintracht Frankfurt. Okay, Juventus have an agreement with Kostic and his agents Lucci about 3 years of contract, around 3 million for 3 years. But Eintracht want 15 million or 18 million for Philip Kostic. Juventus in this moment don't offer this money because Juventus have another objective, another goal that is Zaniolo. Zaniolo is the first goal in this moment after the signing of Pogba and Di Maria and Cambiaso as like before.
Okay,
as I like tell before. Okay.
So Zaniolo is priority now for Juventus after Di Maria and Pogba. How likely is this deal to happen? And is it going to be loan with obligation?
Is a possibility. Loan with obligation, loan to 10 millions and the obligation for 30, 35 is only problem with Zaniolo. Roma in this moment want only cash, 50 million. Oh, Giuseppe,
Giuseppe.
international adesso. Mercato is crazy, always. No, Roma want only cash in this moment, around 50 million, 50, 60 millions. Is a more the valuation is more for Juventus. Juventus values the players 35, 30 million to max. Okay. In my opinion, there are two possibilities for to see Zaniolo in this season, or loan with obligation, okay, or to sell another players can be diminuite, no? Abbassare, diminuite the price that Roma make to Zaniolo. Arthur can could be two players that could be to go in Rome. Mourinho appreciate very lot Arthur, but Arthur earns a lot. 60 million around this earns 2 years with Juventus. In my opinion, honestly, I think that Zaniolo is a transfer, could be a next transfer for Juventus, because Juventus is usually in contact with Claudio Vigorelli, that is the Zaniolo's agent. Okay. There was 3 or 4 meetings in last month around February or March. I don't have information concrete about the new meeting, but I know that Juventus and Claudio Vigorelli is the Frabotta's agent. Okay, also I know that the two parties is in contact or every 3 or 4 days. Okay, via message, via WhatsApp, or via the fast call. Okay. But I don't have yet informations about a meeting with Rome, with Tiago Pinto, with the sports director or the general manager of Rome in this moment. But in my opinion, could be a good possibility, a good chance between Juve and Roma for next days or 1 or 2 weeks in the half of this month. I expect the meeting with Juventus and Roma.
There you go. So expected meetings coming up, and agree with Giuseppe here. Maximum likes, okay, maximum likes there, and supporting the channel. Beppe, amazing stuff. Grazie. If you guys feel inclined, again, like the video, of course, subscribe to the channel, but make sure you hit that like button. It all helps. And if you feel like supporting like Beppe, there is super chat enabled, or go to stripedheartsapparel.com and grab yourself some custom merch. Okay. Now, everybody's asking here. I'm trying to scan all these questions, Mirko, on the live. The Delict situation, but more so, do you feel he will be sold this summer? Is there a possibility he remains through the season to play?
Yes, is a possibility for a reason, a true reason. Juventus 3 years ago have buyed the league, anticipated other teams like Barcelona and PSG. No, do you remember? And in that contract, Mino Raiola fece mettere, Mino Raiola includes, okay,
yes,
includes
this
clause,
the release clause.
Okay, around 125 millions this year and around 150 millions next year, okay, in 2023. The contract of De Ligt go out in 2024, okay? Is the similar situation about Zaniolo Rome, okay? Also Zaniolo, his contract go out termine in 2024. If Juventus don't make the agreement with De Ligt and his agents, no, the Agenzia Raiola is with Raffaella Pimenta, Juventus must sell De Ligt this summer, otherwise Juventus don't ask for him 80, 90 or 100 millions. Okay, and I think it could be a Chelsea, one of the club interested. I don't have the concrete news okay these days about other teams, but I think that De Ligt could be desiderated from Chelsea, Manchester United, Manchester City. There could be another team interested for him, in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay. So no concrete interest from any other clubs other than Chelsea is what he's saying on De Ligt. And basically, if they can't come to an agreement between Juventus and De Ligt to extend the years, this is the summer to move De Ligt, is basically what Mirko says.
Juventus. Okay, if Juventus wants, okay, the priority of Juventus in this moment, Juventus don't want to sell De Ligt in other ways, okay, in ogni modo, not in each ways, but Juventus want the renew of contract with De Ligt. This is the priority of Juventus in this moment. But as I said before, if Juventus don't renew the contract of De Ligt this summer, must to sell for an high price, because De Ligt first proposal of Chelsea, first talk, no, about the two clubs, Chelsea can guarantee 30 millions and Timo Werner, but Juventus this moment want only cash for these players.
There you go. Only cash, and I like they're not going to budge on that. Now, the replacements, if De Ligt is sold, is Bremer a possibility? This is the main question. Everybody, we got it, was the first question on the live chat. Is Bremer is Bremer available to Juventus? Is there a chance for Bremer?
Bremer has an agreement with Inter, okay, for 3 millions or 4 millions in 4 years of contract, okay, and I after verify this info, but I know for surely that there is the agreement between Inter and Torino. But the Inter and Bremer. Okay, there isn't any agreement with Torino. The Cairo, Urbano Cairo, the president of Torino, hope that sell of Bremer could be around a high price, 40 millions. I know that the last renew of contract of Bremer have a gentleman agreement with Torino about I renew the contract with them. Okay, in exchange, Torino will sell me about a low cost in this summer, but in this moment Torino have many appreciate of another teams beyond Inter. Okay, Juventus is interested to player, and if De Ligt will go to Chelsea in this summer, Juventus could pay 30 million, 35 million to sell to Bremer. Sorry, and
Okay.
it could be a good chance because Juventus follow other defender as Koulibaly, as Badiashile, as Kimpembe, but I know that the management of Juventus appreciate very lot only defender that this year have annulled Vlahovic in two matches with the Fiorentina. No, you remember Torino Fiorentina 4-0 and Juventus Torino 1-1. No, Vlahovic plays very bad. No, that match.
Against
And
Bremer, yeah.
okay, and a little backstory. Last time I've interviewed Paolo Montero, new Juventus under 19 coach. Montero said me that in his opinion Bremer representative is her, no, il suo erede, okay,
Yeah.
for the waves of defender in bench and
Yeah.
sorry in the field.
Yeah. So basically, Mirko saying that Juventus appreciates Bremer based on what they saw him accomplish against Vlahovic and the way he played Vlahovic. Gave him a difficult time. And we saw it when Vlahovic joined Juventus, the Juventus Torino match too. He continues on to say the former Juventus legend, Paolo Montero, who's now looking after the 19 side, he said that Bremer is his heir. Okay, so this is great news. We talked about positive vibes before the show, Mirko, and that's a positive vibe because a lot of Juventini are hoping that it's not dead for Bremer. He has terms with Inter, but if Juventus sells De Ligt, they will take a shot at Bremer. There's other questions in here. Koulibaly, Kimpembe, are these also legitimate options? Koulibaly, obviously rumors about one of his friends saying he would not sign for Juventus. Kimpembe, is he one of the names also as a possibility?
I add another defender, Gabriel Magallanes of Arsenal, and could be another objective because Arsenal interested in Arthur. Okay, could be an exchange between these two players, and there are Juventus worked on more table for defenders. Okay. Bremer, Koulibaly or Koulibaly, Badiashile, Kimpembe, Gabriel Magallanes, all these names are the strong players, but in my opinion Juventus have need in this moment two things: leadership and more experiences, because De Ligt but would be a sell a great sell, no? But Giorgio Chiellini, that maybe someone to lost this sell, but Giorgio Chiellini, without Giorgio Chiellini, Juventus have lost many experiences and leadership, in defense. So in my opinion, the great thing for replace Chiellini is Koulibaly, because Koulibaly is the perfect defender for Allegri for two these qualities, for two things, but is just ready for every situation, no? Koulibaly plays in Napoli for 2015-2015 and show with the Azzurris great qualities in defense.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you can't go wrong with those two, and they would be at the top of Juventini's list. We have some other questions, Mirko, on
two questions, poi
yeah, so
okay.
Mirko's, we're running close on time. He's got to go. He had about 30 to 45 minutes. He's given us closer to 45. So we got a couple last questions, everybody. Departures. We have questions on other departures, more specifically the midfield. So we talked earlier about Artur potentially being one of those guys that moves. Is Rabiot still a possibility of outgoing? And is Juventus looking at another midfielder coming in besides Paul Pogba?
Allora, apart Locatelli and the new thing, no, the next new thing, Pogba, I don't see unsellable in this midfield, because the first target to sell, no, to sell is Adrien Rabiot. Juventus want only cash, 15 or maximum 20 millions for his sell. But dear Alberto, remember last year, no? Juventus would to sell Khedira, would to sell Matuidi, and in 2019 Emre Can andò via, no? Ti ricordi? In inglese non riesco a dirlo questo.
Emre Can came in, he got moved immediately, yeah.
Okay. In this moment, in 3rd July, the first object to sell is Arthur. Okay,
Arthur's first priority.
And Rabiot. McKennie, no, but if could arrive
if an offer came,
maximum, yeah. A maximum offer for McKennie. For example, I don't know, Tottenham or another teams can guarantee to Juventus 35 or 40 millions. Is not is unsellable as a players, no. Otherwise, McKennie, I know that is very appreciated for management of Juventus, for the management about his qualities. McKennie is only in this midfield can guarantee 2, 3, 4, 5 goals in midfield. Unfortunately, Rabiot, Artur, Locatelli don't scores the goal, no? Don't have this habitude. Okay.
Okay, so there you have it. Artur is at the highest priority, but nobody outside of Locatelli and Pogba is untouchable. And you didn't name Zakaria, so even Zakaria is a possibility. There were rumors before, so okay, that's good.
I'm very surprised for Zakaria. I'm very surprised because I know that Zakaria is the perfect players about the Allegri's things. Okay, Allegri want a player strong physically and that with a good technical, okay, not excellent, but a good technical. Zakaria could play with Locatelli and Pogba in midfield. No, for this, I'm very surprised when I heard that Juventus proposed at Atletico Madrid players like Zakaria.
Yeah, wow. There you go. And I mean, I was surprised too when I heard Zakaria in some rumors and whatnot, just like you. So last question, Mirko.
Okay.
Fagioli, Rovella, Miretti. Who do you think stays with the team next season?
Good question. I think Miretti today. Because Miretti has a very appreciate of many teams. I think Monza, for example, this year we heard Dybala and Icardi, no? Monza want make great clubs, no? Galliani and Berlusconi. But 2 weeks ago in Milan, Juventus have a meeting with the sports director of Monza, Antonelli, and in this meeting, Juventus said to Monza, thanks for the appreciation of Miretti, but Miretti is not a sellable. non-loan and non-transfer direct. Because I think Miretti in this moment. Fagioli could be a second chance, but I don't know. In my opinion, Fagioli could be on loan another year, and Rovella I don't see in Juventus in this moment.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So it might potentially be part of a deal then. Okay. Or loan
Sì.
something. Interesting. Well, Mirko, right on time.
Oh,
43
perfect.
minutes. Okay, 43 minutes. But
Don't
it's been
worry,
fantastic.
but I hope that my English was good for this direct, because
Absolutely.
is
As always. I want to let
is
everybody know on the live right now, the show
terrible.
doesn't end. Okay. We're going to recap, take your questions in. And for those of you that could only join now, I'll recap everything Mirko went over with us. So, Mirko, as always, an absolute pleasure having you on. I know it's busy these days for you, and you had an interview before jumping on with us, and I appreciate you taking the time always, my friend. So thank you very, very
Thanks,
much.
Thanks, my friend, and cheers for you and every single person that follow us at 6 a.m.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't. It's incredible in my opinion. Ciao a
Yeah,
tutti.
this live
Ciao.
chat's amazing. So big thank you to all of you. And as always, Mirko, much appreciated. Until next time, my friend, until next time, all the best. Take
Absolutely.
care.
Absolutely. All the best, my friend.
You as well. Ciao. All right, everybody. So we're going to get to a recap. I saw some questions coming in at the end of stuff that we heard earlier that Mirko did cover. And we always get these guys for it's never enough time. Okay. Mirko's fantastic. It's never, ever enough time. But if you had questions that you popped in that weren't covered because they were covered earlier, we'll give a recap. Okay. So if there's something you want to hear about, just drop it now. Delict, he spoke on Delict, okay? And he was pretty crystal clear in it. And it's essentially the same how we all feel about the Delict scenario, okay? So it's basically Juve's got one last year left after this one, goes into final year. The way that they can maximize what they get from him financially is to sell him this summer if they can't find that renewal. So that's essentially it. In terms of the replacements, Bremer has a deal with Inter, personal terms. That does not stop Juventus from making a move should they sell De Ligt. So that's great stuff and great news for us that they'll be in play for that. Koulibaly is in play as well. So big stuff there in terms of the defensive stuff. In terms of basically Cambiaso, he said it's up in the air at this moment whether or not Cambiaso would step in or go out on loan. And what do we have here? Hey, look who
Big
decided
day.
to drop in.
Well, hey, happy can you am I coming through all right? I just
you come through
jumped
great,
on
buddy.
here real quick. Big news. You know what I mean? He dropped a lot of tidbits in there. I was trying to follow along. I was on the main account there trying to send it as much as I could between sips of coffee. But yeah, great. You were saying about Cambiaso. That was that's an interesting one.
So Mirko's great. He gives you so much, and his answers, they're great. You have to really pay attention. He does his best in English, but that's why we thought we'd break it up a little earlier and give you a recap. F1 fans will still get off with enough time to watch the Formula One race. Okay, so yeah, basically Cambiaso, it's up in the air. It's up in the air whether or not it's going to be a loan or if he's going to be in part of the team. That's still in question. As far as other fullbacks, he says talks could spark up again with either Udogie or even Molina, but he says those deals are difficult to make. Mirko said the priority right now is Zaniolo. So there you have it. Pogba, Di Maria wrapped up. Next in line is Zaniolo. The Chelsea talks with De Ligt, they are happening, okay? They are ongoing. That is obviously a situation they are going to have to address. But right now, Zaniolo is the top priority according to
Priority
Mirko
one,
Di
yeah.
Natale. So that's big.
I like how he touched on, okay, like the Molina one was a very interesting one because he said, okay, Molina, it's sort of, okay, that's a good deal that they're trying to get, but it depends on the Quadrado deal. So
Yes.
just a small example of, it's not as easy as, okay, we're going to go get this player and he's going to fit in. There's a lot of, like, you always put it this way out, it's a puzzle, and they're trying to put the puzzle together. And right now the main piece in the middle is Zaniolo. Not that he's going to be the centerpiece of the project, but that's the one they want to fix first. And hey, De Ligt's not gone. He said it. De Ligt is, their priority is to extend that contract. But
yeah,
if they
and
get
we have
90 million,
questions coming in now on Kostic. Mirko did speak about Kostic as well, and he said the deal is not dead on Kostic. Nope. He said not at all. And again, speaking to what Anthony just said, it's that domino effect. So the deal's not dead. They have terms 100% agreed between Juventus and Kostic. It comes down to making a deal with the club. But again, Juventus is just waiting. And I think it's just that it's that puzzle piece and what they're going to do. In my personal opinion, they should just pull that deal. Like, they should get that deal done regardless. But again, you don't really know the full story and everything that's going on behind it. It was interesting too when I asked Mirko right out of the gate, and I said, essentially, he and Nico Schira have been like this, steady the whole way. And I said, there's a lot of guys doing this Mercato. And I said, I tried to get, is it more coming from Juve's end? And are there smoke screens that are kind of being played out there and whatnot? Or is it just a difficult Mercato in general to read? And he essentially, said, what we know it comes down to too is these guys have their sources. Sometimes they lose access to certain sources, and that changes all the time. Wheels are always in motion at that. There are at times smoke signals, but he said it's just a difficult Mercato to gauge because of the fact how everything this Mercato is intertwined. Juan Cuadrado being that small example. And it is interesting because who was the first to say that Juan Cuadrado's situation is not as it seems? That was Paolo Nomolo. He was the first to say things with Juan Cuadrado are not as they seem with this renewal, extension, whatever, and him being around. So it's very, very interesting to hear that backed up now by Mirko.
He didn't say that. He did not say that. He didn't allude to anything to say that Juan Cuadrado is on his way out. He didn't say anything like that. No. He was just making an example that, there were talks, with his contract. What I took from that comment is that they're evaluating everything.
Yeah.
Anything's on the table. I know. This guy here, me and Anthony, two peas in a pod. He did touch on this. I don't know if you wanted to bring up what he said near the end there about Arthur and Rabiot, the number one sale that they're looking for.
Yeah. So basically he said Arthur is the highest priority to move out of the midfield for Juventus. However, everybody outside of Locatelli and Paul Pogba is in play. Zakaria included, which caught myself off guard. Even Mirko says he's shocked because if you take in Allegri, what he likes out of those midfielders, this guy's got it with enough technical ability to get by. But even so those rumors we heard earlier in the Mercato about Zakaria being offered up, true.
And then he also mentioned that McKennie, even though I kind of missed it there, I was sort of getting set up. He was saying something about the goal. He was saying
it's difficult to fathom also with McKennie because out of the midfielder we currently have, he is the one that can provide you those 5-6 goals. And, Locatelli is not producing the goals. The other guy, Rabiot's not scoring goals. So it's hard for him to even imagine McKennie being one of those guys that's expendable. However, if an offer comes in for these guys, Arthur, Rabiot, McKennie, Zakaria, they could be moved, is what Mirko essentially said. Everybody in the midfield is up for grabs other than Locatelli and Pogba.
I know the defensive line is a big hot topic today, and he touched on that as well. And the one interesting thing he said was he feels, in his opinion, leadership and experience are the qualities in a player that Juventus should be going after. And obviously Koulibaly checks all those boxes. So he didn't quite rule Koulibaly out. He didn't say it was going to be easy, but it's an option. Bremer's going to be tough. But he threw out some other names there. One from Arsenal, who I'm not familiar with because you don't mean the Premiership.
Gabriel Malahegas there, yeah. And he's been the guy that
swap
at the
deal.
start with the Arthur deal was a name that was linked heavily. So Juve, these guys are all in play. It's going to be interesting. And Alex P's got it. Like, they're putting their ducks in a row before pulling the trigger on these deals. And you know what? Honestly, these guys haven't set a step wrong so far. So they're working methodically. They're dealing with what they have to deal. The Moise Keane is the only one we can really say. And they were handcuffed.
Right.
They were handcuffed. So honestly, I like what I'm hearing so far about the De Ligt situation, because regardless of this being the summer that we have to maximize on it, if we're going to be able to do it without being able to renew De Ligt, I like that they're sticking to their guns on the fee. Stick to your guns on the fee. No players involved. Cash only. I like that. I actually really, really like that. I asked his thoughts on Arriva Bene.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, go back to the start of your conversation. Your first question was a great one. Was what does he think, or how does he perceive Arriva Bene? I thought it was a great response that he gave.
Yeah, and go ahead. You can recap it.
Well,
too.
he just said he's a straight shooter. Like he from Formula One, he was always very honest, and whatever he says, you can trust what he says. So, he hasn't given us any sort of indication to think that he's now. Some of the things he's said this week has probably stirred up the Juventini a little bit. I know, Al, you're a little perturbed by some of the things, but that he's saying as it is in terms of the way he's running the business with Agnelli. Yeah. So I don't know if you want to comment on some of the things that he said this week.
I love Arriva Bene already. I'm a big fan of Arriva Bene. The only thing I had an issue with is I don't agree with where they want to go with the stadium in regards to that and the ultras and the fans, because that was literally the only thing. What he was saying about the agents and the shirt and all that, and bringing it back to only mattering about one name. There's only one name that should matters, is what Arriva Bene said, and that's Juventus. I love that. I love that message. I love that it should always be just about the shirt. The stadium thing bothers me because when you grow up, and even through TV, even through watching it on the TV, you can feel that energy. You can hear the chants. You used to see the flares, the flags, the banners. It's a part of it. They're trying to go towards a more family-oriented environment or whatnot. And he's saying that basically it all came from Agnelli. We know where that stems from. So I take that with a grain of salt, but that's a whole separate thing. I'm curious on Arriva Bene with everybody on the live here, because there are Juventini that actually are saying, well, we're backing up Arriva Bene in this new management. There's still a lot of people that are skeptical on this new management. And they're saying, well, yeah, he's just feeding us all this rah-rah about the shirt stuff to get us on their side. And then, so they're still taking players' sides over the management. And this is an interesting scenario and topic, because, they're like, you're not hearing from the players and you're not hearing this. But at the same time, I think you can get a good judge of guys based on, the guys that can speak to him from Formula One. It's very, very, it was well documented what he was like. Mm-hmm. What we're seeing, even in the interviews, it backs it up. Yep. It makes sense career-wise and storyline of what you're hearing. So I actually do think it's authentic. And I don't think that he's saying anything that's out of line, other than maybe a couple times it probably would have been better not to say certain things. But I respect it because he tells you how it is. I'm with Mirko.
Yeah, the sort of touching on the ultras and the stadium comment, I'll take the other side of that argument. Whereas when I get it, you get the fans and the atmosphere that it creates, but when you're running a business, and there's that good book I'm actually reading right now, the Tobias Ultras. It's the book called
Ultras. Yeah, great book.
Yeah, you can. I'm almost done. It's very good. You get an understanding of the amount of influence these groups can cause in the stadium for different things. So as a business, they have to be treated very carefully. I think Juventus, what they did was they just cut them right out. Now, good or bad, whether you agree or disagree, I think they were moving towards a different kind of person to come to the stadium and the different kind of atmosphere. They want to attract a different sort of crowd. Now, it definitely lowers the exuberance that you see in the crowd, but that's the business, the mall they want to go to. Sometimes these groups can be dangerous, so I think they just want to completely avoid that. And you look at the English stadiums, they don't have any. No, I'm not going to say let's be like the English stadiums, but that's how they want to go, and I'll support them if they want to go that way. It doesn't really bother me too much. But
my issue is
Arriva Ben, what's that?
You can't allow the away side to do what you've taken away from the home side.
It's a good point. It's a good point, but as a whole, I can see sort of the mental idea of what they're trying to get at, and a lot of older fans like you and I, it would rub us the wrong way. Like, hey, we're used to this. Like in the Deli Alpi, they have the whole Gurva.
Yeah.
We're used
I
to
mean,
seeing
going
that,
there and experiencing it, for me, if I went there and didn't see that after growing up, watching that, I would have been disappointed, being honest, like just speaking truthfully.
Okay.
Like, what's the alternative? When he was saying, it should be organized by the organization, the entertainment should be organized, but what I'm picturing is them starting to pay people to sit in that curva and actually do something like that's organized by the team. I seriously hope not, because that would be just not authentic. And
Well, I think they're just saying they're taking back the ticket sales, because I know some of those groups they had control of the tickets for those areas. I read that as they're taking full control of the tickets, and hey, you can buy a ticket, but you're going to buy it from us.
Yeah.
So that's where. Anyways.
Yeah, big
that's
stuff.
Another
but
story.
anyways, back to the Mirko stuff. It was great. It was a big insider, and I mean, I hope it gave you all insight as to just how much is actually happening, and all these rumors, everything that you're hearing, it's all linked, and one move's going to tie into the next. But big stuff coming up in terms of the Vice Vlahovic. We didn't really get a chance to dive into that one, but that one's still very, very much up in the air. And all these names that we're hearing, I mean, yeah, what I'll do is I will message Mirko. And if you guys have any questions, even on this quick recap here that didn't get heard or asked, drop them right now, because I'll message him and then I'll fire it through the Twitter page. Okay.
I got one. I haven't heard a peep about Pellegrini. Like, there was a whole thing about Pellegrini getting sold. Does the Cambiasso deal coming in and then loan out mean that Pellegrini's staying?
Yeah,
because you haven't heard anything.
I'll ask him. And the other thing is what's interesting is Cambiasso's not necessarily staying. So
right.
Does that open the door for Pellegrini to stay as well? So I'll ask him that. I know the Vice Vlahovic, we didn't have enough time to get into. We will ask and then put through the Twitter page. But a lot of great stuff. I thank you all for joining us. It was a fantastic live session today. You guys, as always, are amazing. And Mirko always tells us how much fun he has on the All Juve cast, and that he's a big supporter of the channel. So a big part of it is the live and how much love you guys show him. He loves it. So fantastic stuff from all of you, and absolute pleasure as always, amico. We're getting ready. Big stuff this week, Juventini. Okay. Players start to arrive July 4th. Okay, we got a good chunk of the players coming in. Between the 5th and 8th, expect Pogba and Di Maria to get announced, finalized, some press conference. Don't hold me to the dates, okay? I'm not a journalist. Those can change, and we know how they are with deadlines, right? Hey, take it easy. Could be later, but official start date of training sessions, July 10th. So you'd have to expect them in, signed, and done by then. And then, of course, U.S. Summer Tour. Anybody heading to L.A., I'll see you there, July 30th. Stay tuned, because a couple days prior to the 30th there, around 27th, I'll have an itinerary, and there will be some meetups and good sessions, and we're going to try and make some training sessions, getting some info on that. That could be very, very interesting, because old Alberto found a couple connections, and I might be there for both Real and Juve's training sessions. So yeah, stay tuned, everybody. We're going to have some great content coming out of the US tour as well. Everybody, enjoy the F1 race. Okay? Forza Ferrari. Let's go.
Cool.
Or just have a good Sunday. Okay?
There you go.
Fino alla fine. Forza Juve. Ciao.